One of the greatest things for me has been the community involvement.
I feel like you know everybody a lot more, everybody's closer.
They're going to know me.
I love this church. It's a really cool place to come. On April 19, 1892, the Cheyenne-Arapaho Territory was opened for settlement and was one of the 7 runs of Oklahoma.
The settlers came from as far away as Kansas, Missouri, and Illinois, and many of them were immigrants from Germany. The town was established in 1892 by Dr. Paul Friedman
And was believed to be named after his hometown of Kiel. Although my great-great-grandfather John Whaling was not one of those who came in the run, he was here in 1894. Reverend Deitel, also a traveling representative of the Evangelical Synod, helped the church to organize as Kurtz Deutschen.
Kurtz die Deutschen.
Evangelist and Friedenscher. Oh man!
During World War I, the people of Kiel wanted to show their loyalty to the United States of America. And in 1917, the name of the town was changed to Loyal. My dad, Walt Wernberg, was born in 1910 and tells about the church in the autobiography he wrote of his life. He said the men sat on one side of the church and the women on the other, and the services were held in German. In 1934, the Evangelical Church and the Reformed Church of America merged to form the Evangelical and Reformed Church, and the local church was called the Peace Evangelical and Reformed Church.
Reverend G.A. Fagan served as pastor at that time and was succeeded by Reverend August Hahn for a short period of time. Hans Mueller became pastor in 1938 and continued to serve until 1947. Some of our current members remember him as the pastor that baptized them.
In 1948, an annex and a basement were dedicated, and by this time, Reverend A.F. Warner was the pastor.
On May 10, 1953, Leslie Warrenberg, Sunday school superintendent, arrived at the church to unlock the door and prepare for church. When he opened the door and turned on the light, a fire started in the bell tower and could not be contained. It was thought to have been caused by an electrical storm the night before. Everyone in town and the fire department from Kingfisher worked to put the fire out and save what they could from the church. It was a sad Mother's Day as we watched the church burn to the ground. The congregation met the next week and decided they needed to rebuild. The parsonage was made into a temporary sanctuary and plans were made to rebuild. In 1961, one of our members, Lottie Doy, whose father had been a charter signer of the church in 1895, left the church one of her farms in her will. And because of her gift, we have been able to make improvements to the present church.
In 1982, Mary Bennett from New York accepted the call to Loyal. Mary retired in 1988 and Mendel Adams served the church for 1 year. Several local ministers from Kingfisher, including Walter Selwards, John Bloss, and Leon Seaton, served as supply pastors until Reverend Wilbur Davison accepted the call in March of 1989. Reverend Davison served until 1991 when Diana Leaf became pastor and served until the winter of 1994.
In 1995, Leon Seaton became pastor and has served in that capacity for the past 25 years. We've been blessed to be a part of this church and the Lomega community. I grew up in this church and we were married here in 1962, so it was like coming home. I was part of this church for the first 20 years of my life and the last 25 years of my life.
Probably for 5 years.
I'd say at least 8 years.
I've been coming ever since I was born.
So for me, coming to church was kind of like a reunion with the rest of my cousins.
The town was basically the same. We had like 2 grocery stores and 2 filling stations and a creamery, and we had a locker plant, a guy that slaughtered cattle And then he kept the meat. When you come to town on Saturday nights, you just pick up what meat you needed for during the week. This town would be plumb full of people on Saturday night. I mean, it was wall-to-wall cars, and everybody brought their cream and eggs. We'd get 5 gallons of gas for the whole week, you know.
And now, it's a reunion again. I love to come every Sunday and every time that we meet in the church, because I get to see people that I love and have appreciated throughout the years. And as we fellowship and we serve God and we do the things that the Lord would want us to do, it's just really a great feeling.
Our church is growing. We've had more of the younger generation move in. There's always been a lot of love, but you can just feel the excitement from the little kids to the older ones. It's just a good, wholehearted connection.
Because it is close and it is a gathering place for the people of the community, and it's where you see everybody.
We pack boxes for kids, just random stuff that they really need in their daily life. Then we ship them off to people in other countries that really need them.
The Christmas plays are pretty fun because we all get there, and we normally don't do those very often in the church.
We do a living Christmas out of the Cedar Gate that people just come through and drive, and it tells the story of Jesus as they drive through, and we have live animals and all kinds of stuff walking around.
When new people come into this building, I hope first of all that they can take home the love of Christ.
Our love. I think we're pretty accepting.
We are loving, we are caring, and we're giving, and there's no judgment. We all understand, you know, we have busy, crazy lives, and we are just welcome anybody with open arms.
I hope they think it's a good church, and I really just hope they come back so we can get to know each other.
For us to have been here for 25 years and to be a part of this church has been really great experience. But as I watch the young people who have come into the church and how responsible they're becoming and how fantastic they've taken over, it's just a great feeling to know that this church will continue to be a really great asset in this community.
The direction that our church is going, or our vision that we see our church is going into, is growth. We want our church to grow. We want to have weddings here. We want to have baby showers here. This church is a part of this community.
It means friendship, it means fellowship, helping others. It means rising to the occasion. It means grief. And it means love.
I've been in the ministry for 50 years. The last 25 years, it's been my honor and privilege to be the pastor of the Loyal Evangelical Church, a fine bunch of people who are God-oriented, community-oriented, and glad to be of service to anybody. They have nurtured me a lot, and I hope I've helped them some. God bless you. Amen.